Naivasha, Kenya. Located in the Great Rift Valley, this province is known by scientists as the potential birthplace of humankind. A 250,000 Kenyans reside here. 25,000 of which are orphaned youth. Three percent routinely eat 2 meals per day. 1% have safe drinking water. Something needed to be changed. In an overcrowded sandwich shop in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, something did.
It was in 2004, and I was a clergy delegate to the United Methodist General Conference, which was held in Pittsburgh. And there was a lunch break, and I went with two friends of mine, two colleagues who were also delegates who were there to get lunch. And we ended up in a Blimpie's sandwich shop. I actually remember that. And it was a small place, and it was set up with tables that would seat 4 people. And there were 3 of us. And we sat down and had our lunch with us and had an extra spot, obviously. And I noticed some delegates came in, and it turned out they were from Africa, and there were 5 of them. And they were looking around the room like, how are we going to do this? And so I just lifted my hand and said, hey, we've got a spot.
When we sat down, none of us knew each other, and an introduction started. He asked me where I come from. I said I come from Naivasha, Kenya. And after a short discussion, before we broke off, he asked, how can I help you if I was of any help?
And he mentioned a couple of things. One was to provide training for lay pastors, which we've done some of. And then the other thing that he mentioned was help develop ministries with children who are living on the streets.
For me, the children's case was priority number 1.
Paul had a real passion for that. And we set up some training sessions, and then just over time, we began to think in terms of how can we impact the ministry that Paul was so passionate about with kids.
That is when we started thinking of then what do we call it? And the name Panua is a name that we thought. It was a Swahili word, which meant expanding. And all we wanted to do is to expand the vision and hope of the young people in this city.
I used to hear the story about Panua, the way they work, the way they help, and then I was willing to join one day the Panua. When I hear that I am going to join, I'm so happy. This is the tool that I use in my work. First of all, before I joined Panua, I could not think anything. I always think about money. How can I get my money? When I joined Panua, they teach first of all the stage of life training. When we finish the life training, I come to realize that I have many works, I have many goals, and then they teach me about to set my goals, my dream, how to join my dream, my goals, and how I can help each other.
Naivasha is one of a cosmopolitan town with everyone who comes from all the corners of this country. There are many opportunities of casual labor. We have flower farms all around the city, and around the water lake there are flower farms that grow flowers, and they employ so many casual laborers. These are not permanent, so you are not assured that you continue working. And so when so many people come in and they are not able to take care of their children, the children opt to go out to look for food.
So I want to share a story, and this story begins from 2014. That is when I lost my parents. At first, I lost my dad. I was still in high school. I started asking for my mom, but she was no more. I just felt that the world has just turned, and that had just overturned to become hell. I ended up being a casual worker at the construction site. I worked for some few days, then I stopped. So one day I was very busy repairing my grandma's fence, and my mentor, that is Margaret Wasike, came home, talked to my grandmother, and that is where I knew about Panua. At first, I thought she was joking, so I never believed her. I just said, it's just an ordinary program like the others. But maybe they proved me wrong after a period of time. And I joined my vocational training, that's a DJ, and I was very happy because now I started believing on Panua and said, surely these people are going to take us very far. Samuel Mbugwa, just an ordinary man, as you can see. I'm a DJ professional.
I never knew, never seen the things that I saw. Heard about it, I've seen it in movies, people talk about poverty, but that was just a whole nother level.
They don't have that same support network for them, and so if their parents have died or they're raising their siblings, it's just them.
There was pity in my heart for Panua students. I felt pity and sympathy for them. Meaning I looked at their lives and I saw how different and distinct and distant it was from my own life, and I felt pity. In Naivasha, there is empathy.
It's getting to know people and to realize that there are differences that are not insignificant, but at the core, we're all the same.
What I saw in Rose is I saw a drive that originated simply for her love for her daughter. Before we went to Naivasha, we would write letters to Rose, but no one really knew who Rose was.
Round? Sure, yes. Okay, come inside. I'll figure it out. Fine. Hello. There's some good one here. There's a little house. Say cheese, y'all. Say hello. This is for Elevate, so say hi. Would you like to wave? And then, so who is this? My daughter. Can you wave? Wave, say hi. Hi, Daisy. Say hi. This is my mambo. Here's our laundry place.
This Panua program has really helped her. Even they have started her salon at town, and Florence has been of great help.
Now, we know Rose's personality. We know that Rose is kind of quiet. We know that Rose is very funny. We know that Rose says things quietly that can affect a large group of people. We know the character of Rose.
And it was just this immediate, beautiful connection, watching everybody worship together and celebrate together. And there were no differences. Everyone was the same in the worship and the love and the friendship that was developed almost immediately.
Meeting them was like seeing an old friend. Even though we had no memories with them or bonds with them, it was like we had known them already because of the love that they just give to us.
I'm Joseph Toringe. I would like to say thank you to Susan and Mark Lowry.
Andy, Joanne, Bryce, and Erin. I say hi to all. I would like to see you one day in Kenya.
You have given me an opportunity to have another life.
But I want to thank you for the great work you've done to me.
I just want to bless you, to thank the Lord for you because of your support, because of what you've been doing to us.
Your prayers have been helping me since I joined Panua. It has changed my life.
No, this time I'm so good. I know after that, my life will be changed. Thank you.
I am Ella Grace Rodriguez, the creator of this documentary about the beautiful and transformative program that is Panua. In the summer of 2018, I had the privilege of traveling to Naivasha, Kenya, and working with the youth you see in this film. While I was there, I heard a children's story about a hummingbird that really resonated with me. The story went like this. There was a great wildfire in the forest. All of the animals fled in fear to be beside the watering hole, where it was safe. But they noticed that one animal wasn't cowering by the water with them. Ironically, it was the smallest animal, the hummingbird. It was using its tiny beak to hold water, and racing back and forth using its tiny wings from the watering hole to the fire, attempting to put out the massive flames with only a few drops. The animals bombarded the hummingbird with questions. Why bother, they asked. You're too little, and the fire is too big. There's nothing we can do. The hummingbird, though, without pause said, I am doing the best I can. The other animals watched in awe until, one by one, from the tall giraffe to the vibrant zebra to the massive elephant, each began to help the tiny hummingbird. Today, I'm the hummingbird. But it is my hope that tomorrow you will be the giraffes and the zebras and the elephants who will join me as Panua's partners in hope.